Hi, ladies. Welcome to another Behind the Bombshell. I am so thrilled to have Ali Rittenhouse here with us today. She is a tech powerhouse, and she teaches other women how to be powerhouses as well. And beyond that, she is just a fabulous friend. We have known each other for years and been supporters of each other's businesses, and it's been such a treat to just know you, Ali, and have you here with us today. So thank you.
Thank you. And I dressed up like Ellie today for the interview.
Yeah, we were talking about how we're kind of Twinkies. We both got the curly hair going and the red lips, and it's fabulous. Okay, so
Thank you so much.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. I was just going to say thanks so much for having me today.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I absolutely am in love with your story because I feel like it is so inspiring and it's so much fun to hear you tell it. So I would love for you to share your story with us.
Well, gosh, let's see, I'm trying to think of do the math right now, and it's not working out for me, but it was like 15 years ago that I was a high school dropout and I was a teen mom, and I had, just kind of like gotten down this path that I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with my life? And so I had to kind of pull myself from the depths, as they might say, I don't know. And I got my GED and I started going to college. And when I started going to college, I started realizing I first started out thinking that I was going to go into human resources, which if you know me, or you're going to learn really quickly, I would not fit in human resources at all. So I found computers, and computers really gave me that, I don't know, that depth, that thing that I was looking for that was lighting me up. But it was more about creating websites, because we were learning how to program computers and we were learning about the web. So I started learning how to code computers, and from there that just lit my spark up. And so 8 years ago, I started my own online business where I was helping entrepreneurs out with all aspects of their business, from marketing to the technology tools to all the pieces that came together. And about that same time, I was also getting a divorce from my daughter's father. And so I had to move back in with my parents, and I had to make this business work because I had gotten fired from my last job, and I knew that going back into corporate America or back, working for the man was not for me. And I could tell that this business was really for me and what I needed to be doing. So I was fortunate enough to be able to, like I said, to move in with my parents, and I really built this business. And within the first 9 months, I was moving out on my own. I had never lived on my own before. I mean, I pretty much got knocked up and moved in with him. And then, a couple years later, we got married and, did all the things we were supposed to do. So I had never lived out on my own. So I was taking these huge leaps and bounds. And it was very shortly from moving to one place to a little bit nicer of a place, and I kept making all of these visions for my business, and I just kept hitting these goals that I had set for myself. And then, midway between year 5 or 6, I started to need to leverage myself. I was working around the clock for people, helping them with their businesses, helping them with their product launches, and there just wasn't enough time. And so I had to learn a way that I would be able to help people more broadly. And hence the Geek Labs for Preneurs was born, and coaching with Ali Rittenhouse was born. And I have been able to really help entrepreneurs leverage this technology to grow their business and to leverage it for lucrative product launches. So I feel so blessed to be from where I started out 15 years ago to where Moa is today. And just a little update on the ex-hubby thing. We eventually ended up we were separated, divorced for 5 years, and we got back together and bought a house, and here we are. We're not remarried, but we are working, on things.
Isn't life just wild? Isn't life?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Who would have guessed out of a high school dropout? Serious.
Well, what I love is you talk about creating a six-figure income in your living room, and you talk about being able to really empower other people to do the same thing, which I think is so, so cool. So let me ask you this. If you had one message to offer, what would that message be? What would you tell the world?
Well, for me, I think that it is all about wanting to take your brand from local to global. And to really do so, you have to leverage technology, because technology makes everything possible. So one thing that I don't think that I picked up quite as quickly with my business is the sky's the limit. You can take yourself as far as you want as your personal self. And with technology, it kind of helps you fast forward things a little bit more advanced. So for me, I just embrace technology and realize that it makes everything possible for your business and taking you from a local standpoint to global. I live in a town that has 22,000 people in it, and I've been able to reach people all across the world thanks to technology.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about technology, because you use a lot of video, and obviously a lot of my clients use video as well, or are thinking about using video. So tell me, what was one of your biggest fears before you started using it?
I didn't have the expensive camera equipment. I was setting this brand up for myself, and because I knew all of the technology that I needed, those were all those pieces of the puzzle. I wanted to be able to have the high quality technology that I needed to be able to record these videos. And so it was like it was stopping me. But what I really found out too was like, I didn't need to have that. As long as my audio was good quality, people were still gravitating towards me. They were still seeing the funny faces that I was making on my videos, or the obnoxious rants, or whatever it might be that they were seeing on these videos. That's what they wanted to connect with. So, I think I would have put it out there a lot sooner had I been able to just forget about all of that worry of doing it. Even when I did have video on my site, I was still using it before a lot of people were using it. So, and I will tell you that my lighting, I was like grabbing all of the shades, taking the shades off the lamps, like grabbing all the lamps in the house, taking the shades off, and like positioning them around my computer. And that was how I made my first video. Like, I didn't have high technology at all.
Yeah, and we talk about that. I love that, because it's so true. A lot of people let that kind of get in the way of them creating videos, even though they have great content they want to share. And, we talk about the ability to create lighting using a couple lamps and using your laptop, So I really do appreciate that. And tell us a little bit about, by the way, one of the things that I love about Allie's videos is she's always Allie. She's just very authentic. She's very real. You get the same person when you're talking to her in an interview, when you're talking to her on the phone about what's going on with her family, when you're talking to her about business stuff. So that's one of the things I really, really love about her. And by the way, she has awesome weekly emails that go out with great tech tips and great information also. So we're going to tell you how to sign up for those. Tell us a little bit about how you're using video now, because I think it's really, really cool. Just a little bit more about what Geek Labs is and how you're using it.
Yeah, Allie's got really bad posture today, too. I noticed that. I need to make sure that I sit up to keep that light, too. So that'll help with my posture. So the Geek Labs is this fabulous, online laboratory of videos that I have used with a combination of being on camera and recording my computer screen, and created a whole training course based on that, on everything from email marketing to online payments to getting more publicity for your business and pitching, all kinds of things. And what I love is that I've done it just using my Mac. It didn't require, it required the knowledge up here that I had. But it wasn't like I had to go out spending thousands of dollars to create all of these binders and papers and, everything that I was like shipping out to people. So somebody can come and they can sign up for the Geek Labs in the middle of the night and they automatically get access to it, leveraging the technology that I teach. So I love using my video for that. But what I also love is I'm involved in a lot of launches, and we've got our own getting ready to launch as well. And what I use is video to help create buzz and to help promote a training series leading up to the product that I am selling. So for example, I am going to be I have 3 myths that I'm going to be busting. And then I'm going to be sharing my product launch formula. That's all video that I'm doing on recording and giving them tips, paired with PDFs, paired with audios, all these things that are going to help them out. And so this video series is helping to promote a product that I'm getting ready to launch. So video can be used. And then I use it for Q&As for all of my training. People can come on and ask me questions. We use it for live workshops where I share my computer screen and teach people how to write their sales copy or how to put together their sales page using certain technology pieces. So I use a lot of video.
Yeah.
A lot. For a lot of different really cool things.
Yeah.
And the best way that I use video though is for interviews like with Ellie right now where I get to, meet and connect people. And I might be in this small town in Ohio, and you can be watching this from whatever big town or small town or another country that you are in, and you are still feeling like you know me, like I'm sitting right next to you.
Yeah, isn't it so amazing what video can do? And I love that you mentioned the sales stuff, leading up to a product launch, because I do think that it's really, when I have seen it used that way and helps people use it that way, it's really incredibly powerful, isn't it? To give people a sense of who you are, what it's going to be like to work with you, and to really figure out very quickly if they're a warm lead, if they're really going to buy from you, or if they're not.
Yeah. Well, the very first video in this series, I might say the S word about like 20 plus times. Mm-hmm. And I realized that as I was editing, I'm like, I should probably put some kind of disclaimer on here because there's probably going to be people that watch that aren't going to be keen on that. Mm-hmm. But what they get is they either love that about me or they don't. Because when you're coaching with me one-on-one, I'm probably going to drop a cuss word a time or two. So it's just that, but that's who I am. That's, about me, and video helps. I guess you see that a little quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. So just for the last thing I really want to ask you is what are you proudest of that you've done so far?
That I'm still here, that I'm still in business, that, yes, woohoo, that I celebrated 8 years and I am continuing to move forward. We're growing. Things are going better than I could have ever expected. I just, I feel so blessed considering where I started out at, kind of like the path that I was starting on. I thought that it was like for sure that things were going to end horribly and then I was going to have to go back and get a job. So that's definitely my biggest accomplishment.
I love it. And we're so glad you're here. Me personally, I just have adored getting to spend time with you and get to know you over the years. And I'm so excited to see how your business has grown. By the way, she just launched this beautiful new site, AllieRittenhouse.com. You got to go check it out. And that's where you can go to actually sign up for her emails that are really fantastic. Thanks so much for being here with me, Allie, today. I love it.
Thank you for having me.
Mwah. See you later, Bombshell.
Bye-bye.